Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of TGC Radio. This is episode 10. We're going to be taking a look at my most listened to music from the week of January 26th to February 1st, 2024. We'll be taking a look at my most listened to music throughout all of January 2024. And I figured with the end of the month as well, I would like to take a look at all of the albums that I listened to throughout January and have that be an easier way to do my 2024 albums project, like the 2023 albums project. So yeah, I figured let's take a look at that as well at the end of the episode. But first, we'll kick off with the week-to-week stuff like I always do. January 26th to February 1st, my most listened to artist in the week. Number 1, we have Spanish Love Songs. Then we have Cassidy McKenzie, Against the Current, Rise Against, Taking Back Sunday, and The Academy Is. Albums, we have Schmaltz by Spanish Love Songs. We have Brave Faces Everyone by Spanish Love Songs. Fast Times at Barrington High by The Academy Is. In Our Bones by Against the Current. And Siren Song of the Counterculture by Rise Against. And then for songs, we have 2 that are worth mentioning, and that's, we're going to talk about first, About a Girl by The Academy Is, and then my number 1 most played song of the week is Turn It Down by Cassidy McKenzie, which is a new song she just released this past week, and it is so good. I've talked about Cassidy before, and I love her song Leave Me Alone. It was one that was normally in constant rotation for me throughout 2022 and 2023 both. And I love the song so much. I still love it. And Turn It Down is just such a great song. It's a fucking banger. And it was just cool because she kind of just popped up again out of nowhere and released the song. And it's like, cool. And then with how great the reception was to it, she ended up doing an acoustic version on YouTube as well. So that was really cool. And yeah, I love it a lot. And About a Girl by The Academy Is just a good song. I'm not super huge on The Academy Is. I don't know. I'm not very familiar, but I know that song in particular, and yeah, it's cool. And then if we look back at artists and albums, again, Spanish Love Songs has been in every single episode of the week-to-week most listened to stuff for this series. So yeah, they still have not missed an episode. All 10 episodes so far. Cassidy's up there, obviously, because of Turn It Down. I've been playing that song a lot, constant rotation throughout the week, and I love Turn It Down a lot, as I've already said. Against the Current, they so far have only missed 1 episode, like I talked about in my stats in the previous episode that I started keeping track of, but they continue their streak. Rise Against 2 weeks in a row, as I've been playing Siren Song, at least stuff from Siren Song, quite a bit. Taking Back Sunday, again, they're not always there, but I love them a lot, and they are there again. And then, yeah, The Academy Is there for the first time. Just mainly because I was listening to About a Girl. Album-wise, Schmaltz, I'd been meaning to finally jump back in and fully listen to and take in Schmaltz. The first time I listened about half of the record, and then I just didn't fully focus on it, and I just stopped listening and didn't come back to it. And well, yeah, obviously, as I was talking about with some of the albums before, yeah, that was a mistake. Schmaltz is very good. I love Schmaltz a lot now, and to me, if Brave Faces is a 10, then Schmaltz is like a 9. And No Joy, I'd probably also call a 9. I'd say it's probably equal to Schmaltz and just below Brave Faces to me. But again, No Joy's also doing something very different to both of those other records as well. Like, Brave Faces is a very natural next step from Schmaltz, but No Joy's not quite the next natural step from that. So it's doing different things, but it's also fantastic. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm viewing all of that. If Brave Faces is a 10, Schmaltz and No Joy I think are both a 9. Personally. Again, Fast Times at Barrington High is there just because I was listening to About a Girl. In Our Bones is still up there, continuing its streak. Siren Song, like with Rise Against, 2 weeks in a row. And then, yeah, still coming off of being sick and kind of recovering a little bit. I still just haven't felt like listening to very much, so there's not too much to talk about in that regard. And I've already talked about the songs being Turn It Down and About a Girl. Obviously, you probably know The Academy is and About a Girl, and that song's great. But I do highly recommend listening to Turn It Down by Cassidy McKenzie. Again, very, very good song. But yeah, I'm not going to keep rambling on or doing anything like that. We'll move on to January 2024 most listened to music. And that will be my top artist of the month, Against the Current. Then we have Echo Smith and Spanish Love Songs tied at number 2. And then we have Blink and Taking Back Sunday tied at number 4. And then we have Rush at number 6. As well as that, I do feel the need to say I started listening to Geddy Lee's autobiography, My Effin' Life. I've been listening to that through Spotify because it's a part of Premium. And yeah, such a good listen, good read, however you take it in. Great, highly recommend it. It's a very dark, like harrowing read or listen at first, because right away he gets into exactly what his parents experienced as they were growing up, as they met, being in, Germany and like being in the Nazi concentration camps. Very deep, dark listen or read again, but yeah. And it's not just like a small thing either. He dedicates like, I want to say the whole first 5 chapters to it, basically, to telling their story. But again, it's been such a great, for me, listen so far, and I highly recommend it as well. But moving on to most listened to albums of the month, In Our Bones was number 1, and that's Against the Current. Against the Current's second EP, Gravity, is next. And then we have No Joy by Spanish Love Songs, Talking Dreams by Echo Smith, Schmaltz by Spanish Love Songs, and then a tie at number 6, we have One More Time by Blink-182, and The Record by Boy Genius. Then my most played song of the month was Talk by Against the Current. Tied at number 2, we have a few, and that's One More Weekend by Against the Current, If You Ever Feel Alone by Saint, and Landmines by Sum 41. And then all the way at number 5, we have a tie of a few again, and that's the song In Our Bones by Against the Current, Autumnal by Alex Melton, Haunted by Spanish Love Songs, and Buddy Holly by Weezer. And to talk about some of these again, obviously, Against the Current, Echo Smith, Spanish Love Songs, Blink, Taking Back Sunday, that they all make sense for me. I've talked about them a lot throughout the series. Rush, I've always loved Rush. It's one of the few bands that I got into and was introduced by my dad, and I still absolutely love, and I've probably loved them even more now. Rush is so good, and it's funny because I'm not super into prog, but I love Rush, but that might be because, honestly, they may be one of the most accessible prog bands, quite honestly. But yeah, I love Rush, and I've been really digging into their discography at the start of the year, which we'll get into the albums I have listened to at the end of the video. And then album-wise, again for the month, In Our Bones has been in there in constant rotation since I re-listened to it at the end of the previous year. No Joy, I've been listening to quite a bit since it released August 2023. Talking Dreams at this point is one of my most listened to, one of my favorite albums ever. I finally gave Schmaltz another chance, and a proper chance at that. I've been listening to One More Time by Blink quite often since it released October last year. I absolutely adore The Record by Boy Genius. And then Gravity is one that I'll talk more about again at the end of the video when I get to that section. But Gravity is just one that I don't know why I put it off for as long as I did, but I think I talked about this before as well. But Gravity is one, I don't know why I put it off, but I did, and wow, I just don't get it, I love Gravity a lot. It's such a banging pop punk EP, and it really helped me see, okay, yeah, I get now why people classify Against the Current as pop punk, even if I only personally see that label working for their first two EPs, Infinity and Gravity. I don't really feel pop punk from In Our Bones or Fever, and I obviously certainly don't feel pop punk at all from Past Lives. And a thing that I love Past Lives, one of my most listened to records throughout all of last year. But, again, in saying that, it's not a pop punk record. In Our Bones, I still feel like isn't. And then Fever, I think, is quite honestly a bit heavier than pop punk. And I don't really feel a punkiness to it. But yeah, but no, yeah, Infinity and Gravity are definitely pop punk EPs, and you can see where they started. And Gravity's very good, so that's there. And then, in saying that, Talk from Gravity, I just absolutely love. And that's why it was number one. I just constantly played it throughout the month. One More Weekend is just an absolute great bop from In Our Bones. Landmines from Sum 41, obviously I've talked about before. I just love this song, and I'm so excited for Heaven and Hell. And then, If You Ever Feel Alone by Saint is the closing track on her first and only solo record so far, Smile and Wave. And I love this song so much. It's so good. Like, I absolutely love it. And then, again, the song In Our Bones, Autumnal, Haunted, Buddy Holly, I've talked about all before. Again, they're just songs that I love that I played quite a bit throughout January. Not as much as the ones previous, but still not enough to make the list. So yeah. Though Buddy Holly's mainly just because Buddy Holly's in Fortnite Festival, and Fortnite Festival is basically Rock Band 5, even if some people don't want to hear it. But yeah, again, I'm not going to spend too much more time on that. That is all of the January and week-to-week stuff. That's my most listened to stuff for the week, and my most listened to stuff of all of January as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, share it on social media, do all that good stuff, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys!